And welcome back to the channel, guys. If you've been watching, I submitted a box to CGC that I had come back recently, and I had posted a video. It was a 25 book 9/8 pre-screen that had two things going for it. The first one was that it was the worst submission I have ever submitted, meaning I literally hit 7 out of 25 books. It was bad. You can catch that video. I'll link a card to it up at top, but it wasn't my finest moment. The other thing that was important about that video is that it was also the quickest turnaround time I've ever had with CGC. It was not fast-tracked. It was just a modern 25 book 9/8 pre-screen, and it came back within 14 days. Now, I can't tell you if that means anything, if that means CGC is rushing it, that means I am just completely off, or if there's something in between. However, I do think it's important to note that it was a 2-week turnaround, and it was the worst submission that I've had in years with CGC. So what are we going to do? Well, I'm a glutton for punishment. We've got 25 more books. Let's go over what's going in for October 2022. Okay, so let's go through some of these books. Obviously, we are going to try and make up for our last submission. I can't see how we can't beat that, but you never know. I have been wrong before. So let's get started. First one up is going to be Midnight Suns #1. This is a Kevin Eastman 1 in 25 variant. This is the first team appearance of the new Midnight Suns. This book is selling for a little over ratio, nothing too crazy, but it is a Kevin Eastman variant, and because of that, I think it has garnered a lot of attention. So we are not submitting 1, but 2 copies to see how we do. And being that these are new books, they have not been pressed or anything like that. They are literally going in the condition that I got them. Next one up, an oldie but a goodie. We like to mix these in. And this is Spider-Man #1 from 1990. This is the second print gold edition from Todd McFarlane. This book has been homaged countless times. Clayton Crane has done a couple. There's been probably 27 different variants of this book. This one is, one of the ones from the 90s, a gold edition, nice clean copy. And so we're going to submit that and see how that one pans out. I'll just leave it like that. Next one up, and I'll say 2 because we're going to be submitting 2 copies of this, which is Black Cat Annual #1. This is from 2021. This is the Yoon, if I'm saying that right, variant, second print of this. This is the first full appearance of the Tiger division. This book has kind of picked up a little steam in the past month or so as far as whether they're going to do anything with it or not. Recently, I can't really tell you, but it definitely went from being a dollar bin book to picking up maybe $5 to $7 on this one. So we're going to submit 2 copies and see how we do on those. Now, you're going to start seeing a trend here coming up, and you'll see what that is. But this is ASM 308. This one is a direct edition, as you can tell from the bottom. And this is Todd McFarlane work. There's nothing crazy with some of these. I have submitted what I'll call filler books. But any of the ASM books and Todd McFarlane art seems to garner attention, as well as, there are collectors who try and complete the run. So if you can hit a 9/8 in these, it's not a bad thing to have. So That is ASM 308 going in. And if you've watched my videos, I tend to mix up what I'll call more recent moderns with some of the 90s and early 2000 ones. I think you get a good mix, and I think you get a chance to hit, and I have, on some of the what I'll call older moderns that you might not normally maybe get a 9.8 on. So I sprinkle enough in, and you'd be amazed what you hit. Next one, ASM 313. This one was submitted recently and was rejected. And if you follow the channel, I have always believed that you can submit it a couple times, and if it's in good condition and there's not major flaws on the spine, one of those times you may just hit. And I've done that countless times, guys. Watch the videos. I'm a true believer that you can get it from a reject, submit it again, and hit on it. I feel like I've done it, and I showed it time and time again. And I feel like that is one of the biggest things I could tell the community is grading is subjective. Just because someone says it's not a 9.8 one time doesn't mean it doesn't go back and become a 9.8 the other time. So another ASM cover. This was originally rejected and going back in. Nothing's done to it. Nothing's pressed. Nothing's new. Just getting resubmitted with that beautiful McFarlane art. Keeping with that, same thing, ASM 328, another McFarlane cover direct. Again, like I said, we're going to submit a bunch of these. This is definitely going to be the McFarlane submission on these, but these are really nice, clean copy books. No color breaks that I noticed, in nice and clean condition for the 1990 books and 89. This particular one is a 91. This one is 89. But we're going to submit them and see how we do. And I love these titles where the artwork interferes with the title. So McFarlane going in. Here's a more recent one from 2016, Spider-Man #3. This is, I think, the third ongoing solo series for him. This is the Pascal Campion variant. This is a 1 in 25 book. So, anything right now with Into the Spider-Verse kind of looming and coming up and talks, I think is worthwhile. We're going to submit these 1 in 25 or this 1 in 25 and see how we do. I really do like to submit those ratio variants if I can. Another one up, Venomized #1 from 2018. This is just a classic Scotty Young, awesome artwork. And I am a big fan of the way he does his art. I've submitted many books, both on the signature series and throughout the pre-screens. And anytime you can get a Scotty Young and hit a 9.8, you just can't go wrong if you like his artwork. And I really do. So that is Venomized. All right, guys. Secret Wars, the talks have been in as far as how this is going to play out, whether this is going to be from the 80s run or the 2015 run on this one. This is Secret Wars #2. This is the first appearance of God Emperor Doom. This is an Assad Ribic cover. So this is an awesome 1 in 25 of this particular book. This book probably used to be able to get for $5, if that. And now these dollar books and all have gone up to much more expensive heights with the things of or thoughts of Secret Wars and how this is going to play out. So with the potential for Dr. Doom coming and Secret Wars, this is a good book to grab a hold of if you can find one of these 1 in 25s, or even cover A seems to be doing fairly well right now. So next one up, again, another oldie but a goodie that I have submitted and lost upon many times, but we're going to try this again, is Captain America #6. This is the first appearance of Winter Soldier. I have tried this book, I have pressed this book, and I have not hit on the last 2 times I've submitted, but I am absolutely not giving up. So guys, this is going back in. This is a testament of what I tell you. even if it gets rejected once, twice, 3 times, a book like this, I'm going to submit. It's worth the $8 to me. So there's also a variant cover with him on the cover on front and center instead of Cap. But this is the one I have, cover A, and I will be thrilled to see that 9/8 because this is a nice copy. It does have a very minor amount of color rub on the back, which I think has been been keeping me out of the 9/8 realm, but we're going to try it again and see. Next one, Next Wave, number 1. This is the first appearance of what I would call Elsa Bloodstone with her original red hair. The one that we know now, how she's portrayed in the the comics. We just saw her in Werewolf by Night. Didn't look like she had the red hair at that point in time. But the development of the character, we'll tend to see what happens. If there's some kind of color change or anything like that, but anything Elsa Bloodstone right now is going to be hot. This book was originally rejected. I did have this pressed a while back. It hasn't been repressed since it's been rejected, but it's still going in, and we're going to see how we do. Moving right along. Edge of Spider-Verse number 1. This is the 2022 run. This is the 1 in 25 Humberto Ramos cover, featuring the first appearance of Spider Laird and Spider Rex, I think, is in here as well. But a gorgeous 1 in 25 on a number 1 on a Spider-Verse one. We're going to submit this and see how we do. Let me put these like this so we're up front. All right. Check out this. This is Star Wars The Mandalorian number 1. Adi Gronoff, SDCC 2022 Virgin cover, limited to 800. This is a Trinity Comics exclusive. What's really nice about this is what they did with these is they created a card that matches this. Now, what is so cool about this card, I love this idea, and I will show you, is not only do you get the comic with the matching card, but with Trinity Comics, they also have the number, and I'm going to try and see if you can see that, 396 of 800. This was a limited print count. You get a trading card as, in essence, kind of the certificate of authenticity, which is super, super cool. This book is trending raw for about $100. I'm thrilled to have been able to get this. Shout out to Brent from IG Comic Store. He was able to hook me up, and I was able to get this and a couple other ones which we're going to go through. But what a cool idea is to take the comic and then do a card. I'm really interested to see if I can get CGC to potentially give me a blue label on this, CGC trading cards, and then obviously if I can hit the 9/8 on that and have matching. That would be really cool, and I'm interested to see if they'll do that. Next one up, following that type, is another Trinity Comics exclusive. This is Moon Knight, and this is Moon Knight number 13 from EM Gist. This is the Virgin SDCC 2022, again limited to 800. This is a bad looking artwork. I mean, this is just incredible looking artwork. Again, with Trinity's exclusive, there is a card, so you get the card to match, and the card, just like I said before, has that limited number, 561 of 800. Super, super cool. We will see eventually if CGC trading cards will blue label both of them. All right, moving right along. Here is another crazy, crazy looking cover. This is Wolverine number 1 from 2020. This is the Scott Williams sketch Virgin, and this is limited to 400. This is awesome looking art. Just can't thank Brent enough for this. This is just such cool work. Limited to 400, as well as just that Virgin looking sketch cover. Super cool. hopefully we'll hit 9/8 on that. Moving right along, Edge of Spider-Verse, number 5, the 1 in 25 one. And this one is the David Lopez. I believe David Lopez was the artist on this one. And this is the first appearance of Web Weaver, who is a gay Spider-Man, as well as the first appearance, I think it's a Hunter Spider on this one. So, you know, there's been talks as far as inclusion and Marvel trying to do that with this. And I guess that was the creation of this particular character. Where it goes, we will see. But nonetheless, can't hurt to add a 1 in 25 ratio to the collection. So we're going to submit that and see. All right, guys, here's an oldie but a goodie. New Mutants 26. This book was pressed, I will tell you. This is the first appearance of Legion. There's also a newsstand one of this, if you can get the barcode, but classic Chris Claremont story. Bill Sienkiewicz as the artist. You know, we had the Legion TV show that ran on FX for, I think it was 3 seasons. But now that mutants are back into the fold, maybe we'll see Legion again. So we're going to submit this beautiful copy and see how we do. And we are almost finished, guys. Next one up. We just concluded that She-Hulk series. Some people liked it, some didn't. But this beautiful, incredible Hulk 441 is just a nice homage to Pulp Fiction. And I really just enjoy and love this particular cover. There is also a newsstand on that, as well as, and I think the newsstand version has a $1.50 or 150 price versus this one, which is the 195 direct edition. So be on the lookout for that. But just a cool cover on this one. It would have been awesome if you got John Burns to do it, but you know, take what we can get. Next one, Iron Fist number 1. This is the 1 in 50 Gunji variant. The first appearance of Swordmaster is Iron Fist. Now that we have Shang-Chi involved in the MCU, we know we're going to get an Iron Fist. You know, there's talks about Christina Ritter coming back in her ones. We got the Punisher coming in. We've got Kingpin and we've got Matt Murdock back. So what are they going to do with Iron Fist? Well, this could be a safe bet to have. It's still a 1 in 50. It's a Ramita cover. So, I mean, it's got all the makings of a real good hit. And if they bring in Swordmaster into play and use him as Iron Fist, then you're going to see this book hit some good numbers. So this one was pressed because it did have some creasing when I got it. But we're going to see how we do now that it's been pressed nice and clean. Sticking with that Elsa Bloodstone. I don't know if you guys can see that, but Marvel Zombies number 1. This is the Opena ant size variant. This will be that beautiful Elsa Bloodstone cover. I will put on the screen what happens on the back, because the back of the cover is that blown up artwork, which people love. Anything Elsa Bloodstone is hot. So this book, being a hard to find book, is one that we are going to submit and see how we do. Amazing Fantasy 1000 2022 Peach Momoko. This is the Diamond Anniversary version, limited to 5,000 copies. Guys, we just finished New York Comic Con 2022. Peach Momoko came for signings. I heard some horrendous stories of people, you know, bringing short boxes and everything else to this nice woman who was agreeing to sign for free. I think she was signing like 10 books. She wanted to meet her fan base. This is the first time she went to New York Comic Con. And it looks like some of the flippers and other ones that are in the business kind of took advantage. And I heard it didn't go so well. Obviously, I was not there, so I cannot speak directly to it. But it really starts to make you question on what's going on with the comic book industry and some of the market. Shout out to Peach. I know she was trying to do a nice thing and sign books for free, which I think is just awesome. Whether you like her artwork or not, it's a really nice thing to do. It just didn't seem like it worked out in the long run. But hopefully that will not happen next time, and there'll be some other opportunities to get Peach Momoko's signature, which I would be interested in getting as well. All right, closing it out with the last 2 books. A Force, number 1, 2015, first appearance of Singularity. This book heated up due to Love and Thunder when Eternity appeared in the movie. This is the 1-in-25 ratio Russell Dauterman variant. Guys, if you've been watching the channel, I'm just a huge fan of the A Force. I think that's coming. I think they're going to do something with it. All female superhero team. How can Marvel not do something with this, even if it's a Disney Plus series? This is that 1-in-25 Dauterman variant, which is really nice. There are also 1-in-50s and some other beautiful ratio ones. But we're going to submit this one because I got a hold of it, clean copy, and see how we do. And last but not least, Radiant Black 2021. This is the Goni Montez foil. This is limited to 375. I had submitted this before and got rejected. Don't see anything really wrong with this book. I don't know if it's maybe fingerprinting. I wiped it down, but we're going to have to see. It's still a great book. It's worth it to me with Radiant Black and discussions of whether they're going to make an adaptation. This also being limited to 375. So we're going to submit that, and hopefully we are going to hit on some books. So that's it for this month, for October. We're going to submit these 25 books in and hopefully hit more than 7 like we did last time. So guys, if you like what we're doing on the channel, please leave a like, comments down below. You know I respond to all of them to the best of my ability. And if you enjoy the type of content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And I put out content. I try and put out content each week of different unboxings and things coming back. I do have some PSA cards coming back that we're going to be getting. And I just sent in some Marvel cards. So there's things coming down the pipeline, guys. As always, I hope you guys are doing well. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.